Hi, how are you? I hope you're okay on your cancer journey if you have one or whatever wall you're facing. This channel, I like to think about walls in our lives and using the same tools, principles, trail markers to process the wall, to get through the wall, not bounce off of it, but actually go through it. And the three major walls I usually talk about when I'm talking about walls is my oldest daughter's drug addiction, which was 6 years and 2 years of rehab and an overdose and all that. She's good today. And then I talk about the wall of divorce after 36 years. Getting divorced, the divorce was final. That was about 6 years ago. And just processing that whole, I have 6 children and the breakup of our family. But I chose in this channel, really, this is about going through the cancer journey. And when I was at Sloan Kettering in New York City on July 27, 2005, and facing my major surgery and going through that 3.5 week process of being down there after they removed the bladder, prostate, and a section of the ureter, recreated the bladder inside of me. It took a while. That's a major surgery and changing systems around, and there's a lot of moving parts. But one thing I noticed in that place, I felt my higher power, God, telling me to be transparent about my journey. And I'm not a preachy guy. Like, I don't like to talk to somebody and tell them how I think they should live. That's just not how I'm wired. I would rather listen to somebody's story, and if they want me to comment, fine. And so, what I wanted to just mention today was the gift you can give somebody else when you're going through your cancer journey or going through a wall. And the gift, as I would describe it, at least for me in my life, was to be vulnerable and transparent about that journey when someone would ask me if I was struggling with fear, let's say, or anger or sadness, whatever it is, or experiencing joy that day, that I would be able to state it and to talk about that I didn't have the answers, that I had answers that fulfilled me, but I wasn't there to tell that person how they should do their cancer journey. I would try to put courage in, encourage, and give them hope. I believe that's one major reason why I've lived and am an anomaly in this cancer journey, is because I stand for being able to bring hope. And my surgeon loves to talk about my case around the world. It's the last slide that he gives, he told me, and he says Peter's 9 years post hospice. And so now when he goes around the world, people say, how is Peter? And I don't think that those urology circles are all that large, but these are the people who are at the cutting edge of high-grade urothelial cancer, just urothelial bladder cancer. But I was thinking about one thing I could do that really brings me purpose. I mean, going through cancer, sometimes you just feel like a burden, and it's helpful to recognize that you do have a purpose, and that purpose is really to just be honest and open about what's going on, because somebody else going through the same journey or a variation of it may sense that openness and contact you, and just looking for someone to partner with as they walk through that journey. And I've found that many people are just looking for someone to partner with, someone who understands what it's like to get diagnosed with cancer, to go through the journey. I now know what it's like to have 50 surgeries and 7 years of immunotherapy. I received treatment every 3 weeks until COVID, and then they gave me a double dose every 6 weeks to keep me out of the hospital as much as they could. But radiation therapy, a lot of you have had that. But not many people have been told, advised twice to go home and call hospice, and I do have that. So I know what it feels like. I don't have all the answers, but I know what it feels like. And so I think that's a gift we can give others, even our families or people who don't know what it's like to have cancer, to sort of take the mystery away and to be honest about the journey and what's going on physically, spiritually, emotionally. And I'm not one of those guys that can smile all the time and say, "Oh, everything's wonderful," when it's not. I struggle with that. So I want to encourage you to know that there's purpose in processing your wall. That somebody's life can really be touched, and you won't even know it by how you're processing your wall. I remember the first time I quote came out of the closet to speak publicly about my journey. It was 10 years after my first diagnosis, and it was right after I had my 14th surgery, which was a sea change for me. It became metastatic. Anyway, I spoke at this event. It was a prayer breakfast event. There were probably 500, 600 people there, and I read a script. And I remember hearing that it wasn't very good. I mean, I just read it. I didn't try to expound and be this great speaker because I just wanted to get through it. I had said yes that I would do it. I wanted to get through. Actually wanted to throw up before I did it because I was so nervous. But anyway, someone had pulled over, and a man had pulled over driving, weeping. And so you don't know how your words and what you say and just your honesty and grappling with faith for me as a Christ follower, grappling and talking about Christ rescuing me and healing and all that, how much of an impact that will have. Anyway, hope all's well.